Yeah, so that's cool. All right. So basically, that is what we'll be checking about AI in software engineering so that we can build smarter, maybe together with AI. Cool. Nice. So that's it. Let's move on and check why AI in software engineering. So the core idea is to make AI your collaborative partner, not as a replacement. So as a developer, I know there have been a lot of rumors outside there. Oh, AI is coming to replace code developers. There is no need for running coding. Oh, yeah, but there is no way you can develop a good software if you don't know how coding works. Okay, so AI is not your competitor to wipe you out or to write you off. It is a tool to collaborate with as you develop. Okay. Yes. So basically, that's the core idea. We focus on software problems. When it comes to software problems, identifying software problems, once you identify a problem, you have to undertake a software project. Now, that software project, let's say you identify a problem like waste management. That's a real world problem. Okay. So if you want to create a software that solves waste management problem, then definitely it means you will need to code your program. You will need to collaborate with the authorities also in your municipality so that they can know whether the system you are building can work in their municipality within their local authorities. So you need, beyond that, you need stakeholders, people who will fund your project. You need, beyond coding, you need also people who will work with your users, who will use your project software application once you already used it. So merging all those issues becomes quite complex, and at times it can be time consuming. And in a peradventure, you cannot avoid errors in such a rigorous process. Okay, so what you do, you employ AI to simplify your work so that in building up the solution, uh, you will have one, enjoy speed. Yes. So to automate repetitive works, you will also be able to enjoy good, uh, like smart approach of your solution. Why? Because you'll be able to make data-driven decisions, and also you want to maintain that human-centric, build softwares for people. So you don't build softwares for anybody else. You don't build softwares, not unless a few softwares that are made for animals. Most of the softwares, the end users are people. Okay. Yeah, except there are a few that there are softwares whose end users are other systems. But for us, our software is most of our ed goals, ed products, we want them to be people. Cool. Yes. And we want to give people happiness when we deploy those nice products. So that's it. Um, in Ubuntu Touch, just as a village shares wisdom, AI shares insights across all teams. Yes. So we bring in AI to help us from development process, from problem identification process, once we identify the problem, as we develop the solution, all through to scale up our software development process. So AI is very key in accelerating development. All right, so that's it. Uh, what is the role of AI in software engineering? So one is automation. We use AI to automate tasks. So think of it as your robot assistant, whereby, for example, if you want to write a boilerplate code, you can do it while sipping your coffee. Why? Because AI is helping you write the code, and you are focusing on the problem. Okay? Yes. So the more you focus, the more you are able to work with AI. Okay? For example, in our waste management problem, now you have to focus on how bad is the situation and how much can the software do in the waste management. Okay. So like you have to work vis-a-vis. This is how bad the problem is. This is how good the solution can work. You get? So as you work on the problem, in-depth understanding of the problem, and also in-depth maybe scaling up of your solution, you will need AI to automate those processes, my friend. And the AI comes in handy. And who can tell me which is the basic method of interaction with AI? Let me see on the chat. What basic method do you use for interaction with most of the AI tools? I want to see. Yeah, prompts. Prompts. I can see people saying prompts. Writing emails to AI. Mm, mm, Okay. Do you write emails to ChatGPT? Okay. I'm learning. I'm learning. I'll try. I'll try. Okay. Prompts. Oh, okay. Prompts. Yeah, I see you are all around there. Well, we use prompts. And the process of curating a prompt that fits the AI requirements with AI capability is what we call prompt engineering. Now, prompt engineering comes in handy when it comes to automation and to use of AI to automate things. Okay, cool. That's very good. Next, we're gonna work on decision making. So decision making, AI acts as the wise elder, e.g. by predicting bugs before they happen. AI can be very key in identifying bugs in a in a code, in a piece of code, or within a project, either as the coding happens or before it happens or after it happens. Okay. And now, to be able to work with AI in such a manner for easy decision making, whereby you can tell AI, fix this code, okay, or rectify this scenario, okay, or make this scenario better. Now, that is decision making. You want AI to help you to better your decision, okay? Yes, it's not the AI making decision for you, it's simply helping you to make better decision. And something else is user experience. AI gives you that empathetic friend feeling, whereby you have apps that adapt to your habit. Yeah, best maybe, for example, you realize if you've been interacting with the ChatGPT so much, you realize that it will answer queries based mostly on how you usually, your pattern of asking questions, okay? Not unless you give it a role or you define a role, and then you make sure you define the context, define the problem, and maybe add more details to define to make AI be able to understand your context. So that is it. So you want AI that helps people to feel, oh, this is my partner. This is part of me. Okay. Yes. So that is it. And a fun analogy here is that like Ubuntu Community Fest, everyone contributes. And that's how we get AI plus humans. Everyone has to contribute. As a human, there is your part of contribution, and there is part that AI can help you. Cool? Just like the way, for example, if you are organizing a party, we would have to make contributions for everyone to be able to enjoy the party. Now, imagine somebody comes into a party and they've not contributed even a cent, and they want to eat at the high table. Hey, yawa. It doesn't work like that. We'll chase you out with our feet and with all the guns we have. Not because you are a bad person, but because in our party, you got to contribute something more. Okay? It doesn't work. If you no contribute, you no go eat all. Okay? Yawa. Omela. It can't work that way. All right. Cool. So when we talk of now, let's delve deeper into this AI task automation and decision making as well. So one of the things you realize, you want AI to help you do the, like the job, get the work, help you to get the work done. Okay. So say for example, in development, as long as you know what you want to build, let's say you know you want to build a waste management app. Okay. So you can use tools like GitHub Copilot to suggest the code snippets for that such a project. Okay. Then once you do that, then the AI will produce a code for you, but it is for you to check the code, whether the code is addressing the problem as you would like, as you idealize. Okay. Yes. So you have to check mark. So the AI will generate the code, but you as human, you have to customize whatever you want the code to do. Cool? Nice. And you allow AI to do the chores, just like the way this robot is cleaning the house. Yeah. And I hope you guys, you clean your houses using robots. You don't have to. Cleaning is something that happens every day. That keeps on recurring every day. Huh? So you don't have to struggle with that. You just need AI to do a robot that can simply clean your house every day. Okay. I hope you guys have that. And yeah, in case if you do not use AI, a robot to clean your house, just know you are not living in your time. All right. Yes, maybe are you collaborating with ancestors? That is not very right, my friend. All right, cool. Yeah, it's the ancestors who used to struggle. They even fall in the house that they were cleaning. Somebody breaks the leg. Why have you broken? I was cleaning here. Then the chair hit my head. No, those are stories of the past. All right, cool. Yeah, so yeah, we also use AI for testing. Um, AI is good in generating test cases. So remember, we've used AI to generate our code. We've customized the code. All right. Once you customize the code, now you are like, I think, for example, let's say you're working with sensors, maybe a sensor uh, or that is attached on a bin to tell you the bin is full, or the bin is maybe the status of the bin. So it will tell you when the bin is empty and when the bin is full. And so once it's full, you can be able to maybe automate the correction. Cool. So that is it. You have to test whether that functionality that you have idealized, has it worked? Okay. So for example, One tool that can help us to do that is testing.io. Oh, let me show you how these tools works. Testing.io. Yeah, testing.io. So, okay, testing.io. Yeah, there it goes. So these are tools for testing softwares. Once you think that your software is ready for the market, before you release it, you can test it here. You can use this platform to test, and you can try for free, but after the free trials, then you will need, if you need to do many more trials, there is a limited, uh, like there are limits of how many softwares you can test for free. But after you have tested for free and seen that the product works for you, then you can continue. You can pay a few dollars and the product will really, you really keep enjoying the product. Okay. So basically, that's what test team can help you do to test the product once you've developed. Okay. Yes. All right. Remember, we are doing this through with the AI together in collaboration. Cool. Now, once you do that, then something else you need to check on is a DevOps, like development, monitoring deployment. You need to check on how you deploy your apps. And one of the apps that can really help you to do that, the AI tools that can help you do that is Datadog. Where Datadog is an organization that offers very nice tools for simply um, monitoring tools after you've deployed. Remember, once um, you have created the product, you need to deploy it either through Versa or whichever hosts platform you have. Either you can host it internally, which we call internal hosting, or external hosting using a server that is elsewhere. That is elsewhere. Okay. Hosting internally means you use your own server, web server, for example. Yes. How many people have got web servers in the house? If you got a web server in the house, say yeah. I know JS Daddy got one. So except JS Daddy, who else have a home server? Huh? Yeah, you guys, just raise your head. I will see you. Mm. Mm? Huh? Nobody. You mean you guys? You don't have servers? Okay, we will see how we will organize how we can purchase one for you. From your mouth to God's ears, I'll have one. Arva Kwana. I love that. I love that. That is faith. Okay, okay. Eh, so Titan Zama is asking what's a web server? Okay. Okay, you guys, and somebody called Cabero Matrakara is telling me I only have a media server, and I hope that is not your phone that captures your photos. Okay, you guys, Ivinandi, how are you surviving in this world? Okay, cool. I don't know. Ah, my bad. Okay, let me go with Oliver Aquana. Um, you'll have one. All right. Yeah, from my mouth to God's ears. Okay, cool. Cool, 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 cool. Nice, 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 nice. Hey, Naima Noah. Okay. Oh, you only have a localhost. Localhost is your own computer. Okay. That's not a server. That's a localhost. Even you, it's not. We cannot even call it a server. It's a localhost. Mm. Yeah, yeah. Huh? Hmm? Michael, what you have is a rock host, not a server. Yeah, let's agree. You have a rock host. You see, even you've said you have a rock host. Okay? Yes. Yeah. All right. Good. All right. Somebody, Titus is telling me you have a Zamp server. That's an app that lands in your computer. That's an app. Let's agree. Zamp is an app. Even WAMP server. That's an app. Okay? Yes. Cool. So, yes, you need guys, you guys, you need to get serious with developing. You buy a server and you keep it in your house. Yeah, a server. All right? Yes, a server. You can just in case you are like for people who are like, what's a web server? What's a server? Just go to DeepSeek and ask DeepSeek, tell me more about web server or tell me more about a server. Simple. And then you realize, according to the explanation you'll be given, that you don't have a server. All the best. All right? Cool. Mhm. All right. It's time to sip that coffee. Hey, my goodness. Dear, it's hot, man. I'm telling you, it's hot. Wow. My espresso is so sweet. Yeah, nice. Cool. Um, that's cool. Nice. Now that is Datadog. So Datadog helps you to check the security aspects of your app once you deploy it. Okay. So for example, I think let me check. I hope no. I want to sign in. Where is the sign in part? Mm-hmm. Log in. Yes, let me log in and see. I think I have an account with Datadog. Do I have an account? I think I have one. Yes. I'm yet to create. Okay. Oh, not Datadog. I think I have another one. Cool. Yeah, so that is a Datadog account. It helps you to check security. I think we will check with the other one. I think I have so many accounts here. I can't even remember this one what is the login. I'll check afterwards. Okay. Yeah, but that's Datadog for you. Make sure you check it. It's a very good site, by the way. It will help you to analyze why security matters is because, for example, uh, your security is very key. Okay, let's see. Do they have? No. Yeah, your security is key. For example, you don't want to deploy your app, and then you find out that after 1 week. Oh, they have a free trial. You can try it for free. So make sure you try it for free. You can also download the app Datadog from Google Play Store. It's still available. Okay, cool. So make sure that to ensure that your app is still secure, AI can help you to do that. Okay, yeah, with a tool like Datadog. All right. Yes, it's fully automated, and it will analyze your product wherever you've deployed it. Okay, cool. Now that said, let's continue. So the Ubuntu angle there is free up time for creativity, just like sharing cause strengthens a community. So mostly this will help you to free up time for creativity. That's why we are engaging with AI. Now that said, let's check on other things like AI improve decision making, the data-driven wisdom. So AI helps you to do predictive analytics. For example, using AI forecasts to project delays using tools like Jira. So remember when you're using software development process, the SD, huh? It's called SDR. Tell me, somebody give me the abbreviation for software development process just on the chat. SDLC. Cool. Yeah, cool. SDLC. So so when you are following SDLC, one of the tools you can use is Jira. Jira is good for forecasting times and completion of, in concern of completion of project, where you can sign into Jira for free. Yeah, it's good. In the morning, we saw how we can be able to use it, and it was fantastic. Yeah, and make sure it's a very useful tool. So make sure you check on it if you are developing software. Make sure you work on Jira. It will help you to manage your time. Yeah, it's very impressive. And then code optimization, like help you to identify correctness of your codes and code maybe inefficient algorithms or code errors and bugs. So one of the things you can use is deep code. I think I can showcase to you how deep code works. Just yeah, deep code. I believe I have an account with deep code, hopefully. Yes, and deep code AI. Oh, cool. I hope it's deep code AI. Yes, nice. There it goes. Deep code. So maybe this is how deep code works. You can watch this for a minute. Yeah.
AI coding assistants have been a welcome relief for developers, helping them code at lightning speed so teams can move faster than ever. But AI isn't really coming up with new code. It's just predicting and generating lines based on massive quantities of training code. And some of that training code is vulnerable because it was written by folks who weren't security experts. Fortunately for AI-powered developers, Sneak can secure vulnerable code in real time. Backed by our own security-focused AI, Sneak validates code as it's written in the IDE and provides fixes in line. Yep, we use our own AI to secure your AI written code. But what makes our AI more secure than the AI in other tools? Well, Sneak's Deep Code AI was built exclusively to secure apps, leveraging AI, machine learning, and, most importantly, human security experts. First, our symbolic AI scans source code using the full context of the application. Then, the code is parsed and compared to our knowledge base of code patterns. When vulnerable code is discovered, our expert-trained LLM sends fix options back to the symbolic AI to choose the best fix and ensure that new bugs aren't created. Finally, developers can review and accept the fix with a click. And with Sneak, you can trust that you're getting the best results because our security intel, rules, and AI models are constantly being refined by security experts who use the same AI to develop novel fixes for millions of vulnerabilities. This means Sneak's Deep Code AI has humans in the loop to prevent insecure code from slipping through. So go ahead, use AI tools to code faster than ever. Just be sure to use Sneak so you don't sacrifice security for speed. Sneak. Security at the speed of AI.
Good. So that is it. That is how uh, deep code works. And I think I've explained that's a nice demo. So apart from that, you can also use other tools such as um, risk assessment. You can tools such as deep code can help you to do risk assessment, and you can be able to evaluate security flaws in real time. Okay. Yes. So that is that. And the Ubuntu wisdom there is knowledge shared is knowledge multiplied. Yes. We don't want you to have developed AI projects or a project that is AI boosted, and then you find that it's errant and it cannot be able to run or help the users as you intended. Cool? Yes. All right. So that's it. Let's check for AI enhanced user experience. So this is software that gets you. What do you want to get from the AI? One, you want personalization. For example, Netflix recommends shows that you love. That makes you feel like kind of Netflix knows you, or like you have a relationship with Netflix. Yes, but not that you have ever, not that it is personal. It's just based on the personal choices you make while you are on Netflix. Okay, so it's able to personalize your choices. And so when, let's say, for example, you like watching action or dramas or thrillers, so based on whatever you like watching, and what you've watched before, it will check on what new, maybe what is new in the market and recommend that for you. Cool? Yes. So that is personalization. Then the other aspect is accessibility, whereby we have voice assistants to help you. Um, in case you can not only the visually impaired users, mostly, you can have an AI voice assistant for specifically for visually impaired users, but not only visually impaired users. There are people who like prefer talking more than typing. Like most girls prefer talking than typing. I don't know whether that statement is true. It needs to be investigated and validated by the girls in the class, but it can happen. The way there is a praise in the Bible, in Revelation 8, and there is a praise that we are told that there was 30 minutes silence in heaven. And someone was telling me that that is a clear symbol that in heaven there might be no women. I didn't agree with them, but I didn't agree with them, but it was his opinion. Okay. Yeah. Yes. And that's what he told me. Okay. Yeah. So most ladies love talking than typing. Okay. So, yeah. So you don't have to struggle to type where you can talk. You get, it's not necessary. Okay. Yeah. And again, you want AI that is can be able to capture your emotions, maybe when you're sad or happy or afraid or disgusted or surprised. Yeah, so that it can walk you through maybe a therapy. AI can be a good therapist. Yes, when you can't get one. And a good example is Cogito. Yes. My JS daddy told me in the morning that it depends on how you first heard the name being pronounced. So if your teacher was lazy, Cogito. If your teacher was quite fast like I am, Cogito. Okay, cool. So let's see how Cogito works. Cogito is a nice tool that it's a good um, mentor friendly person, AI agent that can help you. Cogito. Let's see, Cogito. Yeah. Okay. Let me see. I don't know. Yeah, here is Cogito. So you can download this app from on your phone, by the way. It's available for download from Play Store. Okay. But let's see a trailer on how it works.
Hello, and welcome to Cogito. Cogito is a self-help app that has been developed for people with mental health problems, but is also meant for people who feel well and want to maintain their mental stability. The app was developed by psychologists at the University Medical Center Hamburg, who have been involved for years in the development of treatments for mental health problems. The app can be used in combination with other treatments, or as standalone self-help treatment. The app is also suitable for bridging the wait time for therapy or follow-up care after therapy is completed. This video explains the functions and structure of the app. The app can be downloaded free of charge from the iOS App Store or the Google Play Store. After it is downloaded, the language setting opens after the start screen. Here you can select your preferred language. You can choose from over 10 languages. After this, decide which program packages you want to activate. The basic package is called Mood and Self-Esteem. You can also activate exercises related to other topics, such as psychosis or gambling problems. Even if you do not suffer from any of these mental health problems, we suggest you activate all of the program packages because the exercises can be helpful for anyone. Now, choose the times of day you would like to receive daily reminders of the app exercises. You can select 1 or 2 times per day. The app instructions then open and show you how the app works and its different features. Here is an important note. 2 scientific studies have proven the effectiveness of the app on self-esteem and well-being. After the instructions, you will get to the start page. There you will see a daily quote, the number of exercises you have already completed, an umbrella symbol depicting your long-term protection through the app, and, very importantly, your current daily exercise. You can read and do this exercise right now. After the countdown timer at the end of the exercise has run out, mark the exercise as read. You can also edit the exercise using the pencil icon, mark it as a favorite using the star, or deactivate it using the button on the right if you do not like the exercise. After you click on read, the exercise is added to your completed exercises. As you do more exercises, you earn higher level medals. You will find an overview of the medals you have earned under the dashboard item on the bottom right. If you complete many exercises, you can earn a bronze, silver, or gold medal in 1 week. If you want to do more than 2 exercises in 1 day, you will find a random selection of additional exercises under New Exercises. In the library, the exercises are sorted by category. There you can also see which exercises you have already done. These have blue check marks on the right-hand side. Your edited and self-created exercises are saved in the category My Exercises. Under Favorites, you will find the exercises that you have marked with a star. If you want to create a completely new exercise, click on the orange button Add Your Exercise. Here you can add your own photo in addition to the exercise text. This way, you can customize the app. You can also mark the exercise as a favorite so that it appears more often. You can access the app instructions and the language, program package, and reminder settings at any time via the menu on the left. In addition, you will also find emergency numbers here in case you are in an acute crisis. If you are in a crisis, the app alone is not sufficient. At the very bottom, via the button About Us, you can learn about the researchers who developed and translated the app. By the way, we do not store any of your personal data. Protecting your data is our highest priority. So now you can start with the app. Get started right away.
Okay, so you see that's the app, Cogito. It's a nice app. You can recommend that app for those friends who are struggling with betting. If you know a friend who is struggling with betting issues, yeah, plus maybe any problem that is very critical. Especially this month is a month for men mental health. So if you know a man who is struggling in any way in their mental issues, maybe you know a man who is not very good at dealing with women, recommend that app for that. You know, that is one of the problems you might find with men. Some men. Okay. Yeah. Yes. That's cool. Okay. So that's it. Yeah, yeah. You find a man have multiple relationships. Yes, he needs that. Maybe a man dating more than 2 girls. Yeah, dating even more than 1 girl. That is a man who has critical problem issues of relationship. Yeah, I recommend for them that app. It will help them. Okay, they have serious mental challenges that they need to address. Yeah. Yes. Okay. Cool. Yes. Nice. So at least now you know how to help men. Maybe for those ladies who are asking, how do I help my man? Oh, how can I be of better help to my man who is struggling? Now I've given you the medicine. Okay? Yeah. Cool. Yes. The next lesson I'll charge for medical charges. Cool. Let's continue. Good. So, yes, the Ubuntu heart is that UX is about seeing the human in every user. Okay? Yes. You want to see people as they are and help them to be better people. Cool? Yes, that is very cool. So the next thing is software development and integration, where AI fits in your workflow. Okay. So first, just like we said, you invoke AI right from the beginning at the start, where you design, you code, you test, and then you deploy. Okay. Yes. So that is how basically the coding process works. So basically, um, products like GitHub Copilot are very key in for programming. Casa. Which other programs do you use for programming? Yes. Windsurf, Try, Crowdy. Okay. Let me see. Any other? Yeah, those AI programs you use, they are good for that. DeepSight, cool. There is a DeepSight. Zencoder, well, okay, DeepSight. I'm still searching for DeepSight. Okay, Gemini or Corab? Gemini is an AI, but Corab is not an AI. Corab is not an AI to read. Corab is a development platform. It's an online development platform that you can integrate with AI if you like. In case you don't like, you don't have to integrate it. Okay. Yes. Firebase Studio, Google AI Studio. Okay, Bolt. Yeah, Google AI Studio is a good one. Vio. Yeah, and the rest. Nice. I think I like Vio more. All right. So debugging. Uh, tools like Amazon Code Guru fights bugs in seconds. Yeah, maybe you've never found Amazon Code Guru. How many have ever used it? If you've ever used Amazon Code Guru, raise your hand. I've not seen anybody raising their head. Amazon Code Guru. Code Guru. Amazon Code Guru. Yeah. So, so we have Amazon Code Guru. Is a very good, a very good. Here it is. Here is the Amazon Code Guru. So it always gives you a 90-day free trial. So you can use it for 90 days for free. Yes, for free. So all you need is to come with your code, paste your code here in this nice platform, and you will enjoy a free review of your code. Okay? Yes. And you'll be happy. You'll be happy. But make sure you create an account before you engage Amazon Code Guru. Okay? Yes. All right. Yes. Okay, that said, that's pretty good. Now, um, yes, you see, you can say like that mean me versus me with AI. So it's like you without AI, you are the struggling dev versus you with AI. It's like you, the happy dev with AI sidekick. That looks good. I see most of you are so happy. Okay, nice. Yeah, that is it. All right. AI sidekick. Yeah, you have AI sidekick, eh? All right. Not chick, kick. Okay, as I know men could have heard saying that I'm talking of AI side chick. No, AI is not a side chick, it's a sidekick. I think I'm very clear there. Okay, cool. All right. And yes, AI-powered security scanners, we've already looked at, we want to look at it as AI as your guardian and how it works. We've already looked at Sneak and how it helps you to work with your code. We also have check marks. It's also good for spotting threats very fast. Yes, check marks. Let me show you check marks here. I think I have check marks. Check marks. Check marks too. Yeah. Check marks too. Um, oh, yeah, I want this one. Yes. Check marks too. Cool. So there it is. This is the check marks tool. It's very good in helping you, but this one you have to be validated. As you can see, it works with very serious organization. So you have, for you to get a demo, you apply and then they have to validate your email and then they get back to you, blah, 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 blah. There is it's like a process of application, eh? But they are very good in terms of checking, identifying threats within your code, okay? Yes, even Airbus use them. You know, Airbus is one of the company that makes very secure prints compared to Boeing. Boeing planes keep on crashing, especially the latest one that crashed in India and it killed 241 passengers. But there was one survivor miraculously. That's an evidence that miracles exist and God performs miracles. Because how do you explain that out of 241 passengers, only one survived? That's a real miracle. That's a real miracle. Yeah. So yes. So that is it. So that is the code checkmarks agentic AI. So it's a good one. You can look at it and you can apply it to resolve bugs. Cool. Nice. That's it. I think also the good thing is that we are protecting the community. That is everyone's duty to protect the community. And AI makes sure that our guards are shared and our village is secure. Okay, cool. So some of the success stories we can tell about AI automation and implementation is Spotify. For example, the way Spotify is able to make it can curate for you a simple playlist based on your choices. Okay. Yes. And also, health apps, they are very well able to diagnose diseases from X-rays. Even Microsoft uses AI to like secure its own system, Azure Cloud Platform. Some people call it as Azure, other call it Azure. So whichever one you name it, I call it Azure because Microsoft CEO call it Azure. So I go with that. All right. Yes. Uh, so that is it. Okay. Fun fact. AI helped to build this presentation. Oh, I've banned it. Uh, okay. Is it banning? But it is true. I used AI to build this presentation. Basically, not everything is AI generated. For example, the choice of this slide and plus many other, the graphics, some wordings. I edited, I did customization, but to get an idea of the main idea of what to present, definitely I used AI. Cool? Yeah. All right. So that's it. The use of AI does not come without challenges. Okay. But who are we? We are those guys who can crack anything. Like those guys you can see there. Try coming near them and you'll see dust and fire. Okay. So the same way, as developers, you experience challenges, but it is your work as a developer to overcome challenges. So AI comes with challenges like bias. So you need diverse teams to train for inclusive model. The only way to remove bias is to have many people, diverse teams, a diversity involved. Over reliance on AI. So don't again over rely on AI. For example, I could still have created this presentation with or without AI. Okay. Yes. And it could still be awesome like it is. Okay. Yes. So we ensure there is a border. A border. What's a border? A border is mutual respect. Okay. Yes. And then data privacy issues. Like I've shown you, you have to um, make sure there are proper data policies so that you can be able to evaluate on security of your app. And then, as you have seen, and as you have seen, as I was taking you through the various examples of AI tools, is that those tools might cost you some money for you to use. So, to overcome the challenge of cost, you can use open source tools like Hugging Face. Okay, they are free, or Llama from Facebook, Meta gives Llama. Llama is open source, fully open source. Okay. Yes. Yeah, Rama is available still at the Hugging Face as well. Yeah. Yes. So we navigate all challenges as one. Yes, we fear nothing. So that is it. Uh yes, that is it. So that's how we use AI to make sure that one, you are able to bring up smart apps from development to coding. That is, you design, you code, and then you test and deploy a very good app. Okay? Yes. That's it. Unless there is a query. Yeah, any query? Let me see. I can see under the Q&A there is a query. Let me see whether it's related to this. Um, that concern is not approach. It's not related to the. Hey, somebody has written an essay on the Q&A. I'll read it. I promise to read it after this. Yes. Okay, cool. Yes. Uh-huh. Nice. Since there is no query, JS Daddy, you can take over the demos. Thank you. Oh, I can see there is a hand raised up. Brian Kamau. Okay, 3 hands. Okay, not one. Okay. Yes, Brian Kamanu. Is Kamanu or okay, Brian. Yes, Brian. Okay, Brian is not talking, and we've given you the opportunity. I don't know how to help you, Brian. You can type maybe on the Q&A. Praise King or Cheng. You can speak up. Praise King. Okay. Praise King is also not speaking. Jeremy what?
Hello.
Yes. Hello. It's
Yeah,
Praise.
I had a question concerning last week's presentation. I just wanted to know if Is it a must I use TensorFlow or I can use PyTorch instead?
That one, I think the explanation is on the. What are the instructions on the of the assignment? Just
Okay.
follow the instructions, my friend. Okay. Yes, but I
Okay.
think you can use any of those. And as a group, what you agree to work on. That I would go with what the group works on.
Okay.
Yes, as a
Okay.
group. Yes, what you agree as a
Okay.
group. Yes, that's okay, Chris.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Chris. Okay, Rastly, Gary, what? You can talk. Gary, what? Okay, Jerry is not talking, so it's okay. And Brian was not also talking, so I don't know. It's okay. JS Daddy, you can take over.
All right. Thank you, Jakin, for that session. And I hope you guys have learned something. So I just want us to have a demo of what we have prepared for you. Then we are going to call it a day. So we have a goal. Everything that Jakin has taught is already on the LMS. So it just summarized whatever we have in the LMS. So you don't have to worry where he's getting his content from. Also, the demo that I'm going to do, every piece of code, it's already in the LMS. It's already in the LMS. So let me just go quickly to LMS week 4 and see which example we can have. So unfortunately, this data is not available. Let me show you. But I've added the data and I'll be sharing. On example number 1, the repo metrics, I've added the data. I'm just about to save the changes so you guys can check it out. I'll add the data, this data here, the repo metrics CSV. We are going to add the data. Then, of course, this one here, this one is straightforward. There's nothing you need to do. You just need to run the code and then the code works perfectly. Then OpenAI, you just need to add a API key here, in which also as well, you are going to update it. Then after adding the OpenAPI key, I think nothing else is missing. We are going to show you how. So I'm going to demo these two examples. This is by using the Hugging Face transformers, the Hugging Face transformers. And yeah, that's the example that we are going to be covering. It's a very short example that I want us to check. It's very straightforward example. And I think last week we showed how to get data, where you can get data in case you want to try different data sources. You can just go to this website cargo, and then you go to datasets. Then you have a lot of data sets here. We can't finish. This is a lot of data sets here in cargo. So many data sets. I can get any data set of my choice. So here you can get all the data sets that you might like to try in case you find somewhere with missing data. It's right there on cargo. Depends on how you first had your tutor or the tutorial you watched pronounce it. So that's the example that we are going to work on. This one, where is the example? This one is an easy example. This is straightforward. So I want us to work on this with the tokenization kind of a thing. So this is the example that we are going to be checking on. And also you can use API. You can use OpenAI API keys. So let's get into it. And I think I'm audible. And I hope I'm audible. You guys can hear me clearly before we continue. Thank you. And I think most of you guys confuse us between me and Chakin. Who is who? At some points, you confuse our voices. I don't know why. Yes, Jimmy, why do you confuse our voices? Oh, exactly. What makes you get confused? They are almost similar. Okay. No, you guys, you can't do this. And it's only men who are confused. And only men who say that, when they are caught by the other girlfriend, they say, I thought it was you. I thought it was you. You man, you keep confusing. I thought it was this girlfriend. You guys can lie. Men can lie. Of course, we don't. We don't. I'm just joking. We are good people. We are not like Kasongo. Anyway, I was reading a comment here when Jakin was asking, which kind of tool do you use to clean your house? Do you use your robots? Or what do you use? I know most of men here, they use their girlfriends as their robots to clean their houses and clean their clothes. No, girls don't accept that. That's not right. Are you supporting me, guys? You don't have to clean his clothes. Are you supporting me? There we go. Good people, good people. Anyway, let's go to our example. Our example is right here. Oops, disconnected. Okay, anyway, going to reconnect. So we are going to check at this Hugging Face example. I think most of these examples, we are just choosing which example to explain depending with any previous class that we handle. So in our previous classes, we have never handled something like this, like using the transformers, using Hugging Face. We have mostly used pandas, PyTorch, Matplotlib. That's the reason why I'm not handling, for example, this example where we have pandas, we have sklan, the scikit-learn. That's why I'm not using that example, because we did similar examples last week. So we want to explore as many tools as we can. So in this example that we are going to be working on, we said it's all about automation. So our today's automation is, for example, your team struggles writing up some docs for your code. So we use transformers to generate function summaries. How good is your code? How good can you test your code? And in this case, we are going to be using the Salesforce dataset. So where are we getting this Salesforce dataset? It's built in. It's built in. You don't have to download. You don't have to download anything. It's built in datasets that we are going to be working on. So we are going to use Hugging Face transformers. We are going to be using Hugging Face transformers so that we can try to test some of the few things here. So I'm going to explain the entire code base, but in case you miss any explanation, the explanations are right here below the code. The explanations are right here before the code. And our main tool is Google Colab. So I'm just buying time to wait for you to open your Google Colab, and as well copy that code, and we wait for explanation. So here, let's explain this code. As usual, most of our times we have to import the modules on top. The first line of the code, it's all about importing all the necessary modules. Because we said we are going to use transformers from Hugging Face, so we are going to import from transformers, import the auto tokenizer, then the auto model for sequential LM. So how do you pronounce this? How do you pronounce this? Takin, anyone, how do you pronounce this module, specific module?
That one, let them struggle. We struggle together in this journey.
Anyway, let's struggle together. Okay, let me butcher this name. Let me butcher this name. Don't laugh at me. Let me just butcher this name. So, auto model for sequential LM. Let me see who is laughing at me. You guys, you are not doing good to me. I'm going to leave this class and let you struggle as well. You can't laugh at your daddy. No, that's not good. Anyway, so the first step after importing all the necessary modules on top, but of course we are using transformers from Hugging Face. So the first step is to load the pre-trained code summarization model. So of course we are calling them modules. We install them as modules. But of course these are modules but are models. So we load the pre-trained code summarization models from where? From Salesforce. We said these are built in. The moment you are using these transformers, already we have these built in data sets and data and models that we can use. You remember last week when we were using the MNIST data set that was built in. We didn't have to download, we just needed to run the code. Yeah, that's the same case over here. So we create a variable, we call it tokenizer. Then in this tokenizer, we call the module that we just called here. So the auto tokenizer dot from pre-trained. Which pre-trained model do we have? We are using the Salesforce slash the coded 5 small. So the model that we are using here, that is the auto tokenizer, we go inside it and we take the from pre-trained model. And our specific one is the Salesforce, okay? That is for creating the tokenization. Then we define a variable called model. And in this model, we use the auto model for sequential LM. Then also we use the specific model that is from pre-trained. And as well, we use the same model here, that is the Salesforce. Okay? Now, because we have called our transformer, created a variable for tokenization, we called our model, then the next step is now creating a function to summarize. Example function to summarize. Okay? So, for example, what is this? This is the code that we want to summarize. This is the code that we want to summarize. So here we have a variable calculate. So our task is to calculate tags odd. So we pass the 0% up to the threshold. So the 20% above threshold. So let me explain. So now because we have seen this, so this example function here calculates the tax odd. So the tax odd calculates from 0% up to the threshold. So for example, let's explain what this is doing. So this is the function that calculates the tax, okay? So this tax calculates the 0% up to the threshold. So of course, when you are making money, you have your income, right? And then you have your threshold. maybe the maximum that you can make or the range that you can make. You have to be deducted some tax, okay? So we want to deduct some tax, or tax that you have to pay, or tax that you have paid, or tax maybe that you have to pay. Now, in this function here, what we are doing basically here is we take the income that we make from the money that we make. If the income is less than or equal to the threshold, return 0. Okay? So basically this means for you to be deducted some tax, you have to maybe be earning this amount of money. So if the income is less than or equal to the basic salary that you have to earn, maybe that is 35,000, then you can't be deducted. Otherwise, because we know that the threshold is high, the income is higher than the threshold. So take the income, deduct the threshold, then multiply that by 2%. That is the 20%. So take, basically in mathematics, you are saying if you are earning 70K, take 70K minus this, whatever you'll get, that's what, then you'll be deducted 20% of that, you have been, the remaining amount, okay? So this is just a function that we want to, the function, our main functions is to get the errors and the rest. Now that function does that particular task. So over here, because we are using AI, we have to tokenize the output. So here we wrap the code in a prompt, okay? So the inputs here may be the money that you make. That may be above the threshold, right? So we use the tokenizer. Then over here we are trying to print out the output. So we pass the code, and the code is this code here that we are trying to find out for some issues. We pass the code, and the code is this variable here, in case you are wondering. This variable here, and remember our code is wrapping all this thing here. Then we pass the code, then we return the tensors here. So we are passing this and this. So after we tokenize this, we generate summary tokens. After we tokenize this, we generate summary tokens. So we create a variable summary IDs. In these summary IDs, we assign it to model.generate. Where is our model coming from? Our model is coming from here. Remember this variable here. Use the model.generate. So here we are generating the tokens, the summary tokens. So what are we generating? What tokens are we generating here, the summary tokens? We pass our inputs, all our inputs, then we pass the maximum length of summary tokens that we can get. In other words, for those who have ever programmed in JavaScript, you have seen something like this, dot, dot, then the input. So we are passing everything. Basically, this means we are passing everything similar like this. So we can revert it back to Python. So we pass all the inputs, and the maximum tokens we can pass is 50. We can return here. So after we generate our summary tokens, then we decode to text. we decode to text. Why are we decoding to text? Either, let's assume that we don't know what's happening here. So either this has been generated in machine language, zeros and ones. Now interpret that into text, decode that into text. So we are basically decoding that into text. So over here, we are just basically printing out the text that has been decoded. So how do we decode these texts? We use the tokenizer dot decode. So what are we decoding? We are decoding these summary tokens here. Remember the tokens that we have here? We are decoding these summary tokens here. Then skip the partial tokens, we set it to true. Then with that, you can run your code and your code must work perfectly. And there we go. We get our basic output right there. So we still get the 20%, whatever we were supposed to return over here. So basically, over here, we have done our first tokenization and of course summarizing and actually decoding for some errors right here. So what steps do we cover? We used the Hugging Face transformers. You remember how we said we have PyTorch, we have pandas and other transformers as some of the tools that you can also use in case you are wondering what are transformers. So we use transformers, we tokenize, we call the model, then we pass the function that we want to summarize, and of course after that we tokenize the output or the input here that we are going to pass. As we return the output, we are going to generate in terms of tokens. So here we generate the tokens. Then after generating the tokens, basically we now transform the tokens into the normal human text that we can understand. And that's here where we print out our output. Maybe you're asking yourself a question. In real world scenario, where will I ever use this? Now you remember week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4. Whatever we have been covering, they are just bits and bits. Like we are having a whole program that we are working on, but we are working on small functions, small parts. Now, we are going to combine all that and come up with one complete program. It's just the same way before you created your application. In web, in everything, you learned on how to use links and you wondered, where can I use links? Building on top of that, you learned on how to create functions. You learned basic functions like calculating the sum. How can you use that? Slowly, by when you accumulate all that knowledge, then by the end of the day, we come up with now a logical problem. So whatever we are doing in those weeks, we are just taking bits and bits and bits and bits. So by the end of the day, now we will combine all these bits, then come up with one complete working program, either to predict medical conditions, to predict the weather, to predict finance details. For example, I know by the end of the day, I'll create a system with AI that understands you as a student, how you have been performing in class, then I can predict the kind of students that next in the next cohort we are going to be getting. You see, slowly I'm accumulating all this. Then later I'll be able to analyze your data. So you say you are floating? Of course, Remember in the first days of Python, I said you are floating. You should be floating. You're in the right place. It's day one of interaction with Hugging Face. You will float. Tomorrow, you'll be somewhere. Just continue like that. And by the end of the day, you'll have done something meaningful. If you are floating, you're in the right place. You should be floating, man. We started there. And that's why we are here. We understand what's going on. So don't panic, my friend. Poncho, don't panic. Don't panicky. Don't panicky. Oh, someone is saying, before we continue, before we go to the next example, Hilda, you are saying that you need revision for the previous weeks. So you need revision for the previous weeks. Yeah, and noted, we got you. On Wednesday, the same time, it was 10 a.m. Was it Wednesday or Friday? Friday, it was on Friday. It was on Friday, 10 a.m. We are going to do the same thing. Now on Friday, we are just going to be revising for the catch-up session, revising all the other weeks, whatever we have covered, and try to see if we can build something with the knowledge that we have. So we can check at the last example. We can check at the last example of the day. Last example of the day. So the last example is using OpenAI API key to do what? To generate a PyTest for our new features. So maybe I know at some point you have not done any test to your applications. Any test to your applications. Sorry. So whenever you are creating applications, for example, whenever I'm creating, let's say I'm creating this big example, this big platform here. So by the end of the day, before I deploy it to users, I will have to create some unit tests that will test either this feature as some bugs or as some security issues. I will have to code that that project or that particular test to test my application. So how can you do that in Python? It's very simple. Oops, my VS Code is not working again. Okay, it's good. So here I want us to check on this code. No, not this one here. So I want us to use OpenAI API key to automatically create a test for us. Automatically create a test for us. So let's assume all this code here that we worked on, that we worked basically on this Hugging Face example we just checked. Let's assume that we wanted to create a test for it to see how good is this code. So what we can do, we can use OpenAI API key to prompt ChatGPT automatically, then it will test our code. How can we do that? Of course, we import the OpenAI module here, the OpenAI module. How do you get that module? How do you get that module? It's very simple. You run pip install OpenAI. Pip install OpenAI. Then you just run. Then it's going to install your OpenAI module. You see, requirements already satisfied because I already installed it. But in case you don't want to use VS Code, you also want to use your Google Colab. In case you wanted to use Google Colab for this same example, it's very easy. Very, very easy. You just go to your Google Colab, create your new notebook. You create your new notebook. me just wait for it to load. Then I can just paste that code. Then it will automatically work. So once I run this code, it should automatically work without errors. But before I explain, let me just see if it's going to work first. Okay, there we go. It's not working. It's not working on my Google Colab. So here I might have faced okay, apologies for that. So here I might have faced some few errors. One of the errors can be this module does not exist. So how do you open your terminal in this chat? Not in this chat, but in this notebook. How do you open up your terminal to maybe run pip install whatever? It's very simple. It's very simple. So in that case, you can click anywhere, like here, add in a code, and then you'll get this cell. They are called cells. How do you install pip install OpenAI? You can just run pip install OpenAI. Let's see if it's going to work. If I run this, I'm going to get errors. You see, this is how you install it. This is how you pip install, then you run the cell. You just click the run button, then you run that particular cell. Then it is going to install your modules right here. So this is how you install. In case you're wondering, where do I open the terminal in Google Colab and try all that things? It's very simple. So let's just go back to our code here. This one is more clear. So over here, after you call your OpenAI module, the next thing is just creating a variable where you are going to add your OpenAI API key. So once you add your OpenAI API key, then you can create a variable here in which you are going to call the OpenAI client. So in this variable, we are going to use the OpenAI API key, OpenAI module, then we call .openai. Okay, we call the OpenAI. Then we pass the API key is equal to the API key that we just created here. In other words, you can do away with this. Then in this OpenAI API key, you can pass your API key here. You can pass your API key here, and it will still work the same, no difference. So let me just revert back to the clean code. This is called clean code. So I don't have to pass my API key here. So after that, after you call your OpenAI here and you pass your API key, then we create a function. That is going to do what? It's going to go to ChatGPT. It's going to take the model, then it's going to instruct it to create a unit test or a PyTest. So here, this function generates tests. So here we are going to pass our code snippet, in which is in the form of a string. So basically here we are going to send the code to Codex to ask for PyTest tests. So the prompt basically here is prompt. We just pass a small string that is prompt, and we are going to tell it write a PyTest for this code. So for this code, we pass the code snippet, and which This is the code snippet right here. In other words, this prompt here is basically like, for those who use Copilot or something, Copilot or maybe Casa, you have interacted with this small chat here, where you just tell it, for example, this prompt, where is it? You see this prompt? I can just copy this prompt and paste it here. So instead of every time coming here and creating my prompt, I can basically pass the prompts right here in that input. So in this prompt, it's going to understand our code snippet, in which we can pass this code snippet from where? From anywhere. So we are going to show you how you create this code snippet, don't worry. So after we prompt our AI to create a test for that, we are going to create the response. The response basically means after it's done testing, give us some response of what you have found. So the response here, we're going to pass the client so that we use our API key dot completions. Completions are the output, what you get. The completions are the output in form of a text. Then in completions, create a completion. Just basically create a completion. And in that completion, we can specify the engines that we want to use. So we are going to use the model that is GPT 3.5 Turbo. Then the prompt that we are going to pass is basically this prompt variable here. Then we set the maximum tokens at 200 tokens. Then we pass the temperature to 0.2, right? Then we pass the maximum range to 1. So basically, I want you, before we go to what is now temperature here. Now you remember when we were saying about something like overfitting, we passed the 20% something like deficit or so on. So we passed the 20% temperature here deficit to avoid over-explaining, to avoid overfitting, to avoid over-explaining basically. So we pass the temperature here. Then once it's done, you stop. Once you are done creating the unit test, don't keep on running the code or the engine. Basically, stop that. So once we are done specifying the engine and the prompt, then we can return our output right here. So the output here is we are going to get the response from the completions. And maybe it has given us several completions. Take the first completion. Then format that into a form of text. Make it text. Make it a normal text. A text is like this. This is a paragraph, something that you can read, easily read. So transform that into a text. Then after we return the output here, maybe we can pass the sample code. We can pass the sample code that we want it to write a unit test or a PI test for. So basically this is the sample code snippet that we want to get the output for. So basically this is a normal function that is calculating if a number is prime. So this is how you calculate if a number is a prime number. Then after here, then we can print out the basic output. And our output is going to call this function. Remember this function that we have going to pass the code snippet here. And this code snippet is this sample here. Is this sample here. So in case you're wondering what's going on here, it's just like let me just interpret this is in a normal function. In a normal function, we can calculate sum, and which in sum, we are going to pass a as a variable. Then we are going to return the sum of a. It's just like returning the sum of a. So return a. What is a? Just like this. And remember, the moment we are calling our function, this is how we call it. We call the function and we pass the variable of a to 2. This is similar to a is equal to 2. Just like this. A, you assign it to 2. So if you interpret this, the same way is this one here. This is the variable here, a. The code snippet, this sample, is this 2 we passed here. So we passed it here. We passed the basic sample right here. So if you interpret that, you're wondering what are we testing. So we are basically creating a unit test, a PyTest for this sample. So I hope with that small interpretation, you have understood why we are passing and which A is assigned